Danny, before we talk about the game, how big an achievement is it for Chesterfield to make the playoffs in the first season back in the Football League?
Huge. At one point it looked very unlikely, and I've mentioned it a few times now. Colchester away, the journey home, I think we just thought, not end the season now, but we didn't really see the season finishing like it has done. So the players deserve full credit for that, for turning it around. They've gone through a lot of adversity this year and faced that and stood up to it. And even when they've stood up to it, you haven't necessarily mean you go and win games, but you don't shy away. And I think bar the Christmas period of bad runs, and then at Colchester was the last of a 3 or 4 game losing run. It's been mainly an up season. I think up and down indicates it's like you win, you lose, you draw, you win, you lose. We actually have won a load on the trot or been undefeated, but we've lost a few on the trot, and that's what's cost us. So, in answer to your original question, it's a really exciting end to the season. And like most end of seasons in recent years at Chesterfield, the supporters have got something to potentially dream about.
Many people say you want to be that team with momentum, the team who gets in there at the end of the season, who nobody wants to face. Do you believe in that, or is it just a bit of a cliche?
I think I'd be lying if I said if you were looking at another league or looking from an outsider, you would agree with that sentiment. When you're in it, obviously you have to be a bit more balanced and realise that they finished higher than us in the league, so they've technically had a better season, which, not technically, nothing technical about it, they have. But we scored very similar goals, conceded very similar goals in terms of the amounts. So, 2 different styles, but it should be a really good game. We know it's going to be a tough one, but I'm not a huge believer in form, but you'd obviously rather go in good form. Yes, they haven't finished the last 10, 15, 20 games like they probably started the first 10, 15, 20 games, but they've won the last game, so they're on a winning run. I don't mean that trying to be clever. You're only as good as your last game, and they won, and so did we. So. Yeah, bring it on.
Some will look at Walsall as a bit of a wounded animal, having lost out on promotion right at the end of the regular season. How do you view them as an opponent, though? If you're just looking at what they bring as a team that you're going to face next, what do they do?
They play in your half. They get the ball in your box, and they're good at it. The people who do put the ball in your box, people like Jellis and Allen with left and right foot respectively, it's really good quality, so they're well drilled. They don't just go out there and just, hit it up there and hope. They've got some good footballers. Landon Sturck's a good player. Gordon's back now, who's quick, left wing back. So they've got some good players, but, their biggest threat is putting the ball in your box. I think you saw our game at their place. All 3 goals, it's 3-1, but we forget about the last goal. The first 3 goals were all set pieces from us and them, so I hope it doesn't come down to set pieces as a game from their point of view, if you know what I mean. We'd love to score a couple, but we know they're very dangerous from dead ball situations. So we've done a lot of work this week on them, and hopefully that pays dividends.
What's the key when you're at home in the first leg, do you think?
It's a strange one because I think if you look at the game last night, if you're a Bristol City fan, I think only the most optimistic ones will say, it's still on. I mean, bar the game between Sheffield and Peterborough, I haven't seen anyone come back from a 3 or 4 goal deficit for many a year. So the positive of having 2 legs is that even if you lose by 1 or 2, it's not over. So the excitement carries on, and the feel around the football club and town carries on. But what you can't do is turn it into a disaster. Even if you take a good lead, you know that you've got to go to a packed Bescott Stadium, and especially that big stand behind the goal, they'll be trying to suck the ball in at every opportunity. So the old cliche is a game literally of 4 halves, but we'll say 2 halves for the sake of argument. So I do think it's important if you're at home that you get a bit of momentum and we play well. I think if we play well, it gives everyone a bit of hope regardless of the scoreline going into the second game, because they know what this team can do on any given match day. Saying that, Walsall were top of the league for the vast majority of the season for a reason. They're a very good team, so I don't think we can give them a leg up. But if we do, that's football. It wouldn't be planned, but you've got a second leg to turn it around.
Do you have to be ready for anything in this division? Because it's been unpredictable all year, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah, it has. but it's been all part of the fun, isn't it? It's exciting, you know. It's we're all having a moan and groan about refs and decisions and injuries, and that's all part of it. And that's why we all love football. So, yeah, to be in the playoffs is something, as I say, we didn't think about a few months ago. Well, we thought about it, but probably didn't see it as a realistic outcome. And I think that the fact it's been like that, to answer your very first question, is, yeah, I think people from the outside will be fancying us because we've come from late. But in-house and people who know football know that it's certainly not that simple.
Is there a bit of magic surrounding this club though, Danny? You know, that buy-in, the togetherness, the work that's done on and off the pitch that just creates that bit of extra for the players when they're playing?
I think so. It's certainly the most unique club I've been involved with, and I know a lot of the staff say the same. It really is, especially the last few years. I think obviously with Ash and Phil getting involved with the club, it's just gone to another notch in terms of its ambition. And it is the town. I say that word a lot, but it is the town. It's very much a one-club town, or one-town club, whatever you want to call it. And days and evenings like Sunday will just sort of magnify to everyone outside the town how much football means to everyone involved at Chesterfield. It's a lovely stadium. It's always packed. The pitches are carpet. So there's loads of boxes being ticked. The aim when the gaffer come back in was at some point to get back to League One where he was before. And who knows, that could be this year. But I think I said to Phil Tooley yesterday that a bit similar to when we left Wembley, we were all so sad and down, but there was a real feeling of, we'll go and smash this league next year, and we did. And we want to go and win. We want to get to Wembley. We want to get promoted. But I do think, and it's testament to the supporters and their optimism and their support, is that I think even if the worst was to happen and we didn't make it, there'd be such a feel-good factor going into next season, knowing that let's go and attack those top three now. So it's certainly not the end of the road if we don't do it this year, but believe me, we are really, really focused on getting to Wembley.
As a staff, can you use Wembley as a motivating thing, as an incentive in these two semi-final games, or have you got to try and put that to the back of your mind?
I think if we were a really small club who got a few thousand every week and struggled to fill the stadium and the infrastructure was poor and that sort of stuff, I think you would do it because of the packed stadium and the fact of how passionate the fans are and how loud it is. I think obviously Wembley's a different animal, of course, but the excitement and the motivation is go and play in a playoff final live on the Sky in front of 10,000, and that's it. And they've done it before. Certain players in our squad have played in bigger and more attended games than these playoff games, so that experience will help. And even the younger lads, they've played in big games. You can't take away that experience. For players like Dobbs, for example, or Palms, what that did from at Wembley losing, especially for those lads, I know a few may know more, that missed penalties. It does, don't kill you, make you stronger. And at the time, that cliche just goes in one and out the other to players. But I think in time they realise that what you say to them is valuable, and hopefully they'll use that pain from that day to spur them on, and hopefully put those Wembley nightmares to rest.
The fans have gone on this tremendous journey, from fearing the worst, fearing like National League North, to now dreaming of Wembley, League Two playoff final if they can get through this tie. Just imagine that's going to translate to an unbelievable atmosphere this weekend, Danny. How much are you looking forward to that? Yeah,
the atmosphere is something we always look forward to. And it's not like on a Tuesday night, on a cold Tuesday night, we might get 4,500. We get big crowds all the time. So as a players and staff, you always look forward to that feeling when you sit in the dugout and the songs and the atmosphere and the roar, and especially when they come up for the warm-up, there's always at least a few thousand in there clapping all the players. But you're right, obviously before me time, but I know a lot of people up here now, been living here for 4 or 5 years, and they talked about the dark times. I think it was a Dent's goal kept us in the league, Tom Denton goal, and relying on other results, and you're really close to falling out of it. You've seen with the likes of Scunthorpe and Kidderminster, Hereford going more, but it's hard. It's hard when you go in that north. It's even harder to get back in to the National League as it is to get into National League into League Two when you drop out. And I think that probably, as I say, for supporters that have been here longer than me, which there are many, those things they probably can relate to probably more than me, because a lot of them probably on those coaches from those away games back from Dover and Havant and those sort of games when they were really close to dropping out the league. So this is for them. This is for all the people that have gone through pain and suffering at this football club and any football club. There's supporters all over the country that have seen dark times at their clubs, and it's so important that our supporters enjoy this moment regardless of the outcome, because these are the times where you are in dark places that you look forward to.
Do you feel quite positive about the fact that people are going to look back on this period in Chesterfield's history? Whatever happens in these playoffs, Danny, they're going to smile, aren't they? You, the players, the rest of the staff, the manager, the owners, everybody who's been associated with this club have really sort of shone a great light on Chesterfield, haven't you?
Yeah, and it is a team effort and group effort. That's sounding, too American. It's a real team effort, and I do bring the supporters in town into that, because all the things we're talking about in terms of atmospheres and that, and it's generated from supporters. At the same time, we have to do something to spark their interest and to keep them coming back, and to make all the kids and that and parents turn up at the kit launch and buy new kits. It works both ways, and I think at a lot of football clubs, when it doesn't go well, it's one way stronger than the other. And at us, it's bang on equal. I think we both give 100%, players and staff, and that's everyone connected with the club, and the supporters do. And that only happens, like I say, if the supporters get behind us, the players want to give something back, and if our players run around, the supporters want to support them. So that will never change in football. But it's been a great time. I think, obviously, the last few years have been so many positives. It's probably not even halfway through, 3/4 of the way through this season, it was probably the only time you feel, okay, we're not up the top of the league, we're not down the bottom of the league. Let's not let this peter out into an okay season. And by the way, if we had finished mid-table, it still would have been a decent season. But those scenes at Accrington, it was up there for me. Almost when we got promotion, it was really we have achieved something. We have achieved something. I don't know, people go, you haven't done nothing yet. We're not saying we've won promotion yet. We're not saying we get to Wembley. We're not saying beat Walsall. But they have achieved something, the players. They've achieved something. And you saw from the reaction of the supporters, they believed that as well. They've enjoyed their week. And now they better rest their vocal cords. We need them to sing full blast again on Sunday.
Finally, injury-wise, any updates on the likes of Paddy Madden, Dobra, Sparks, Banks? Any news on those guys?
Yeah, Dobra's back full training. Sparks is full training. Banks is out doing some jogging. So yeah, really positive. It's only the real long termers that are definitely out, and that's great. That's great because in hindsight, you sacrifice all those horrible times where we had the bare bones, and lads even at Bradford away were playing through hamstrings and calves for the cause, and we nearly got results in those periods. So these are the time where you want a full selection of players to choose from, and we virtually got that, mate.